Leonard? Absolutely not. It's not even, no. I'll have to lead services a few times over there till I get comfortable. It's not even all, it's not completely set up, so. Yeah. It's chilly in here.
Oh, they're okay. I just wanted to have a
I don't know why they haven't been here on Saturdays, but yeah, I had a meeting with them. I've seen them. Yeah, and we've emailed with each other, but I don't know if why they haven't been here as much, but they've been here on Sundays.
Oh, okay.
It seems a little cold in here. I would agree with that. Yeah, I don't have long sleeves on today, but it is a little chilly. Yeah. Probably. It's funny. I think it was someone last night at services also did an Indiana Jones reference, and I made a joke about how I'm gonna have to buy this giant golden goblet and hide it in our new building somewhere, and I think their response had to do with snakes. But I'm sure yeah. Didn't they make a new one of that? Did they make another one of those Indiana Jones movies? Did a new one come out recently? Did I dream that? Yeah, I didn't see it, but yeah, something came out. Yeah. Nobody saw it. Was Harrison Ford in it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
They had some people didn't. I mean, it was some people liked it, some people didn't. Of course, but they had a computer generator of him being younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just at the beginning of it, and then it came out, like the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I also think there's a Bezalel Street. In Jerusalem, I think there's a Bezalel Street. Yeah, Bezalel definitely is in different places with art. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if, I cannot say the person's name, Oheliab or whatever is all over Israel the same way Bezalel is, but yes, Bezalel is associated with a fine art. Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Shabbat Shalom. So great for us to be together and to celebrate Shabbat. I'm going to invite you to pull out your prayer books now, and we open to page 192. Ma tovu, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ve'ani berov chastecha avo beitecha eshtacha ve'elhecha kadshecha be'yiratecha ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov Mishkan Kivodecha, Va'ani Eshtachave, Ve'echra, Efrecha Lifnei Adonai, Osi, Matovu, Matovu, O Halecha al Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Ve'ani tafilati lecha, Adonai et ratzon, Elohim berov chastecha, Elohim berov chastecha, Aneni be'emet yishecha, Matovu, Matovu, O Halecha al Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Let us continue reading together the top of page 195. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware, we would lack the strength to stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei kol basar umafli la'asot. Page 196. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi, tehorahi. Let us continue together in the English. My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks to you, Adonai my God, and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is every living soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, asher b'yado nefesh kol chai ve'ruach kol basar ish. We continue chanting our blessings for daily miracles, beginning on page 198. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sachvivina lehavchin ben yom uvein laila. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zokev kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten le'ayef koach. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hama'avir sheina me'einai, uchnuma me'afapai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani bat chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Ozer Yisrael bigvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Oter Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Let us continue reading in English, page 206. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. Page 212. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch hu. Baruch gozer umkayem, Baruch merachem al haaretz. Baruch chai la'ad v'kayam la'netzach. Let us continue in the English on page 213 near the top. With this do I prepare myself to thank, praise, and glorify my Creator. Blessed are you, sovereign of life, whom we praise with songs of glory. Baruch atah Adonai, melech mechulal, batish bachot. This section opened up what's called Pesukei de Zimra, our extra sections of praise in our morning service. And it says, with this do I prepare myself. And then to thank, to praise, to glorify. So I want you to think for a moment, what do you do to prepare yourself to do these things? Is anybody willing to share?
Well, I intentionally get everything behind and focus on
Nice. The word for that is kavanah, right? Kavanah means intention. In Jewish prayer, we have keva, which is our set words. They're on the page. And then we have kavanah, the intention. It's a hard thing to do sometimes, right? To put everything behind us and just focus on what we're doing. But somehow we're supposed to figure out how to incorporate both. Beautiful. Anybody else? Yeah.
I like going to Torah study, not just what we do in Torah study, but that also kind of gets me in the mood to just come to work.
Beautiful. Thank you.
It's a way of showing respect for Shabbat.
Beautiful. So I invite you to find that kavanah, find whatever it is that allows you to be ready to thank, to praise, to glorify God as we celebrate Shabbat with Mizmor Shir, page 214. Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, lehagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunatcha baleilot, alei asor ve'alei navel, alei higayon bechinor, Mizmor shir leyom hashabbat. Tov lehodot ladonai, ulezamer lishimcha elyon, ulezamer lishimcha elyon. Kisimachtani Adonai b'foalecha, b'maaseh yadecha aranein. Ma gadlu ma'asecha Adonai, me'od amku makshevotecha. Mizmor shir leyom hashabbat, tov lehodot ladonai, ulezamer lishimcha elyon, ulezamer lishimcha elyon. Let us skip to our indented lines, which remind us that the righteous bloom like a date palm. Tzadika tamar yifrach ke'erez bavanon yiskeh shetulim bebeit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun beseva deshenim verananim yehiyu lehagid ki yeshar Adonai suri velo avlatabo. The facing page. Ashrei yoshvei veitecha od hallelujah selah. Tehillah leDavid, Arimacha Elohai HaMelech, Va'avracha Shimcha le'olam va'en. Gadol Adonai umechula me'od, v'ligdulato ein cheker. Hadar kevod hodecha, v'divrei niflotecha asicha. Zecher rab tucha yabiu, v'sitatecha yiranenu. Tov Adonai lakol, v'rachamav al kol ma'asav. Kevod malchutecha yomeru, ugvuratecha yedaberu. Malchutecha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha b'kol dor v'ador. Einei kol elecha yesaberu, v'aten noten lahem et ochlam be'ito. Tzadik Adonai b'kol derachav, v'chasid b'kol ma'asav. Ritzon yirei av ya'aseh, v'et shavatam yishma v'yoshiyem. Tehillat Adonai yedaber pi, v'yrek kol basar shem kodsho le'olam va'en. Page 218. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, El Bikocho. Hallelujah, Pikia Uzo. Hallelujah, Big Vurotav. Hallelujah, Kerov Gudlo. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, beteka shofar. Hallelujah, benevel vechinor. Hallelujah, betofu macho. Hallelujah, beminim veugav. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, betil tzalei shama. Hallelujah, betil tzalei trua. Kohan shema tehalel. Hallelujah, hallelujah. At some point, not during services, I'm going to ask someone to explain to me where the tradition began, where we ask someone else, other than the prayer leader, to lead us in Nishmat. So someone explain to me where that came from at another point, please. But because of that tradition, Joel, would you like to lead us this morning on page 219 in Nishmat? Thank you. Let the soul of everything alive bless your name, Adonai our God, and the spirit of all flesh glorify and exalt your name forever, O sovereign. Transcending space, you alone are God. We have no sovereign besides you. God of the first and the last, God of all creatures, Master of all generations, who is praised in a multitude of praises, who guides the world with abundant loving kindness, and all creatures with mercy. Adonai neither slumbers nor sleeps. God awakens the sleeping, arouses those who slumber, gives speech to the mute, and God loosens the bonds of captives. God supports the fallen, are bent over. You alone do we acknowledge.
Page 222.
Shochenan Maro, Vekato Shemo. forget to offer everybody who participates, but they are here. Let us take a deep breath as we enter our transitional moment of prayer, and this is where we are supposed to truly find that kavanah and be ready to pray, whatever that means for you, as we join together in Chatzi Kaddish, page 224. Yitgadal v'kadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach yirotei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye de kol Beit Yisrael Bagala, bagala, uvizman karib ve'imeru. Yahei shmei rabba mevorach, le'olam olam me'omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imeru. As we turn the page to page 226, I invite you to please rise. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. You may be seated. Let us read together page 229, beginning in the middle. You are praised who rolls out the rough, raw clay of the universe into delicate vessels of light. And from nothing at all, we could perceive in a world that has turned old, a shimmering new creation right before our eyes, made this moment just for us. How much of your life reveals your presence? How much Torah unfolds from each new flower, from each new wave that breaks upon the sea. You are praised who forms from the clay that cloaks our lives, the delicate vessels which contain our light. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot, page 230. Ahava Rabbah ahavtanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chem lagidola v'tera, chamalta aleinu, Avinu malkeinu, ba'avor avoteinu, shebatchu vecha, Avinu malkeinu. Vatelamdechu kechayim, ketekonenu tlamdenu, Avinu ha'av harachaman, hamrachem rachem aleinu. V'ten v'libenu lehavin, lehaskil lishmoa, lilmodu lilamed, lishmor ve'lasot. Ukayem ekol divrei Talmud Torah techa b'ahava v'ha'erinenu b'torah techa v'dabek libenu b'mitzvotecha v'yached levavenu le'ahava uyera eshamecha, velo nevosh, velo nikalem, velo nikashel, le'olam va'ed, ki v'shem kodshecha, hagadol v'hanora batachnu, nagila v'nismecha b'shuatecha. Let us continue at the bottom of the page in English where you see the lines indented. Gather us in peace from the four corners of the earth and lead us upright to our land. For you, O God, work wonders. You chose us. Truly you drew us near to your great name, that we might acknowledge you, declaring you one in love. Praise be you, Adonai, who chooses your people Israel in love. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. As we turn the page and find the words of Shema, I invite you to rise if you wish. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated as we continue chanting together page 234. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'kol lavavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvleftecha v'derech u'shokbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. Turn the page. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el bnei Yisrael ve'amarta alehem ve'asu lahem tzitzit al kanfei bigdehem ledorotam ve'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf patil techelet ve'haya lachem letzitzit Uritem oto, uzchartem ekol mitzvot Adonai, va'asitem otam, ve'lo taturu, acharei levavchem, ve'acharei einechem, asher atem zonim, acharechem. Leman tizkeru, va'asitem ekol mitzvotai, v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiot lachem le'elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet. Other than in Torah and in our liturgy, where else do we find those words that we just chanted together? Inside of a mezuzah. One other place. Inside of tefillin. So mezuzah, the thing that we put on the doorpost of our homes and on the entryways of our spaces. And tefillin in the boxes, if you've ever seen anybody wrap tefillin on their arms and on their head, it is those words from Torah that are reminding us to do exactly what we do, put them on our doorposts, put them between our eyes, and inscribe them on our hearts and pass them down for generations to come. I've been thinking a lot about these words as, one, we read in Torah the building of the Mishkan, but 2, 3, 4 to about 700, the conversations I've been in about the building of our personal Mishkan, of our community's new space, and what our mezuzot will look like over there. And many people go looking for a beautiful, beautiful mezuzah because of the idea of chidur mitzvah, to elevate your mitzvah. You could, in all reality, just slap the little scroll up there if you wanted, but that's not the way any of us do it, right? Because we beautify that mitzvah, that command, by purchasing, making, whatever, a beautiful vessel for the scroll. But the important part of the beautiful mezuzah is, which part? The scroll. Absolutely. And so as we're in these conversations, we've been talking about the beauty of the vessel for the scroll, but also the scroll itself, and making sure that we are able to have these items in our lives that allow us to live out the words that we just chanted together. And another quick note, if you're able to chant the words of Ve'ahavta, and if you're able to follow along with those squiggly marks, because the trope marks are in our prayer book, you too can chant Torah, because those are the same squiggly marks we use to chant Torah. So if you'd like to chant Torah, reach out to me and we can work on that. Let us continue, page 239 at the top. Those marks are not in the Torah. You are absolutely correct, but they are on the Tikkun page, which you would learn from. Absolutely.
I have a question. Is it called a mezuzah or a mezuzah?
With an M.
Okay.
Mezuzah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I've known what it was for a long time and have wanted one, but I was just
M.
trying to get the name.
I would spell it in English M-E-Z-U-Z-A-H is how I would spell it in English. Although it's a Hebrew word, so spell it however you'd like to pronounce it. Let us continue, top of page 239. Emet. There is no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness there is your word. Emet. That pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way. True and enduring is Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established, now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all Israel, we sing out and rejoice. Page 240. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh. No ra tehilot, o seifele, no ra tehilot, o seifele. Shira chadesha, shibchu geulim l'shimcha, al safat hayam, yachad kulam, hodu vehimlichu, ve'ameru. Adonai yimloch, Adonai yimloch, le'olam va'ed. Sur Yisrael, Kuma be'ezra Yisrael, Uftechenu mecha, Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Go aleinu, Adonai Sevaot Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We rise together and enter our Amidah, page 242 and following. Adonai sepatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Mekadesh et Shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, kakatuv al yad nubiecha, v'koraz el zevei amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sebaot, Melo kol haaretz, Kevodo. Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Ma'adir Shimcha b'kol haaretz, Baruch Kevod Adonai, Mimkamo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu, ve'hu Yashmienu, ve'rachamav le'nei kol chad. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Yitzion, Ledor vador. Hallelujah. Ledor vador nagid God lecha, U'netzach netzakim kedushata nakdish, V'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh. I invite you to continue now with your own prayers, either the words of the pages until page 258, or the words you have in your own hearts this morning. We will join back together praying for peace on page 258, and I invite you to be seated whenever you wish. Sim shalom, tova uvracha, Chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yisrael amecha Barcheinu yotzreinu kulanu ke'echad ve'or panecha Ki ve'or panecha natata lanu Adonai Eloheinu Sim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yisrael amecha Torat chaim ve'ahavat chesed ve'ahavat chesed Utzedaka uvracha ve'rachamim ve'chayim ve'shalom. Sim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed ve'rachamim ve'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yisrael amecha V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael v'kol eit u'v'chol shah bishlomecha. Sim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael, amecha, Baruch atah, Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Gets me every time, friends, gets me every time. It's the best group I've ever had, maybe other than a room full of like couple hundred teenagers that has put that Sim Shalom peace moment into our prayers. I'll have to let you know what happens this coming week. I leave this afternoon, evening to head to Philadelphia for the Central Conference of American Rabbis conference. So there'll be 450 about rabbis from all over North America and Israel coming together. And our big service is Monday morning because, as you might know, you read Torah not only on Shabbat, but also on Mondays and Thursdays. So Monday morning, I will have the pleasure of being a Jew in the pew with 450 rabbis singing together. So I'll have to let you know how that goes. It is normally a very uplifting, very beautiful moment. And if you think we sing different tunes all at the same time, imagine what happens when 450 rabbis get together. Yes, we have one person leading us, but we're very similar to this community where we sing what's in our hearts. I'll be back before next Shabbat. Yeah, I'm back on Thursday. Let us turn now, right? That was your Jeopardy question. Who remembers what I said? What days of the week do we read Torah? Monday, Thursday, and Shabbat, right? And special festivals. But so let us turn to Torah, page 300, and I'm getting there. 62. We find our Seder Kriyat HaTorah LeShabbat, our reading for Torah on Shabbat. AJ, will you do the ark for us today? David, I have a question.
What's that?
Would you like to carry the Torah for the first time this morning?
Sure.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So some of you, can I share? David, are you okay with me sharing? So some of you might be aware that David's been on his journey to officially become Jewish, and we have completed Beit Din, so we welcome him more officially. We're going to do a more official welcoming after we go to mikvah, but it is very, very, very exciting that David has completed his Beit Din, and we've officially, 3 rabbis have officially signed off, right? So that's the way it works. So I'm very honored to invite you to carry it. I'll hand it to you, and then you'll, when it's time, walk around the room for us this morning. What'd you say?
He's got to run real fast.
Oh, we're not gonna, no hazing allowed during Shabbat Torah Hakafa, right? Thank you, Steve. If there is not an Eitz Chaim Torah commentary near you, there are probably some on the chairs over there. Thank you, Steve and Henry, for moving them around for us earlier. Page 362 in our prayer books, and I invite you to please rise. And then, David, you're going to come with me. AJ, you got it? Is it not coming? From last night, too. Got stuck. Perfect. David, come on up here with me. Ein kamocha Elohim Adonai ve'ein kema'asecha. You're gonna stand right here. Malchutecha malchut ka'olamim u'memshaltecha b'kol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai oz le'mo yitein. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Actually, put your book down. Av harachamim, heitiva bertzonecha et Zion. Tivnei chamot Yerushalayim, ki becha lavad batachnu. Melech el ram v'nisar, Adon olamim. No, stay. Don't move yet. You got it? Let us turn to page 364. Ki mitzion teitzei Torah. Ki mitzion teitzei Torah. Udevar Adonai miYerushalayim. 366. We lost our ark opener. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shema Gadlul Adonai iti, unerom bema Shema Yachdav. Shlosha Devarim. Yeah, you can put it down. Yeah. Thank you, David. Thank you. The end. You may be seated. Sof pasuk, right? I am going to be reading a very short section, the first 3 verses that reminds us about Shabbat on page, in your maroon Torah commentary on page, whoever gets there first can tell us. I heard 2 different page numbers, so you gotta duke it out to figure out which one was right. Can you vote on it? Oh, no. Are we all on this, literally on the same page? 552, is that what the final answer was? 552, okay. Vayachel, yeah. Friends, the journey to the right page in Eitz Chaim seems more complicated than the journey of our ancestors in the wilderness right now. Have we made it?
Directions, we need directions.
We need better directions, yeah. It's because we are sharing, that is a very good point. We are sharing books, Torah study in here right now. So, you know, it takes Jews a long time to get anywhere. So, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It is the continuation of a community project like we talked about in Torah study. So I'm going to invite anyone who is comfortable to join me in our blessing before I chant these first 3 verses. So if you'd like to join me, I invite you to do so. Someone else has got it. There's too many numbers in my head.
552.
Thank you. 552. If you want to join with me in the blessing, I invite you to do so. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach. Baruch Adonai hamvarach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol hamim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Not yet, at least. Vayachel Moshe et kol adat b'nei Yisrael vayomer alehem ele hadavarim asher tziva Adonai la'asot otam sheshet yamim te'aseh melacha uvayom hashvi'i yehiyeh lachem kodesh Shabbat Shabbaton ladonai kol ha'osevo melacha yumat lo tiva'aru esh bekol moshvotechem beyom haShabbat. Thank you. You didn't like my this. Let us join together in our blessing after, if you'd like to join with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. So what I just chanted once again was our reminder about how important it is. We talked about this a little bit during Torah study, to keep Shabbat. And like we talked about in Torah study, because it's found in the sections where we are building the Mishkan, the rabbis have decided that that meant the things that you're not supposed to do on Shabbat were the things that needed to be done to build the Mishkan. So even though the Mishkan is such an important thing to be this dwelling place of God, and this place where we would be able to connect through the priests with God, even it should not be built during Shabbat. As we think about the community project that is the building of the Mishkan, let us imagine that there were people in the wilderness who couldn't participate, possibly because they suffered from illness, yet they were still included. It says that every person was included in the process of building the Mishkan. So let us think of the people in our lives now who might be pausing from community work because they are possibly suffering an illness of body, illness of spirit, or illness of mind. Our Misha Berach prayer of healing can be found either on the inside back cover of our Torah commentary or in the prayer book on page 371. As a community, we think of Joy Lewis, Minna Bat Yentl, Mordechai Ben Dina, Anna Carlo, Judy Roheim, Frida Tamaro Bat Liba Bela, Menucha Pasabat Cherny Umosha, Gretchen Haynes, Ruby Smolinski, Jennifer Casson, Storm Matthews, Terry Stern, Judith Von Brentnell, Kaylee Barron, Zieselbot Yentl, David Berman, Harvey Schwartzberg, Maxine Cohn, David Leek, Barbara Stockner, Janet Gerwich, Danielle Riker, Buddy Ben Margarita, Laura Swire, Susan Wasserman, Nevin Rose, Edie Bernard, Cindy DeMarco, Sheldon Rossin, James Stockner, Vicki Jenkins, Steve Ginsberg, Yitzhak David Ben Chana, David Ben Elva, Joel Ben Mildred, and Elizabeth Clubb. If there are others you are thinking of this morning in need of healing, if you'd like to share their names aloud, I invite you to do so.
J.J. Nevins and Steve Phillips.
Joe Clinton.
Phyllis Munders, Jim Smothers, Penelope Jacobs, and Chloe Ricks, Shirley Stonehouse,
Caleb Hill,
Eddie Bozeman and Lawrence Holtz.
For the names we heard aloud, those whom we hold in our hearts, and those in need of healing in Israel, let us offer these prayers of healing. Mishebe'erav avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebe'erav imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We turn now to our Haftarah, which is a short section, because again, like we talked about in Torah study, sometimes Vayachel is Vayachel and Pekudei. This year it is just Vayachel. And so we find it,
We're doing the Sephardic or the Ashkenazi?
the Ashkenazi.
I got it as 574.
574. I will say you see two. I will throw it out there. It says Haftarah for Vayachel Ashkenazi on page 574. Haftarah for Vayachel for Sephardim on page 576. So those who turn to page 576, you are not wrong. There are just apparently two different traditions. So page 574. It's brief, so we're going to do it in English, but I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Only read one verse, okay? Sometimes we read 12, 6, whatever. We're going to go around the room. If you would like to read, say read. We're not going to get to everyone, I'm guessing. If you'd like to pass, say pass. But we're going to challenge ourselves to read one verse and then have the person next to you pick it up, beginning on page 500, which David, you'll begin for us after we do our blessing, beginning on page 574, where you see that big 7. So read one verse, one sentence even, it might be less than a verse, so we have the opportunity of sharing the wealth this morning of participating. But let us first join together in our blessings, which, if you still have your prayer book open, is on page 372. And I invite you to join with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem v'ne'emarim be'emet
Baruch atah Adonai Habocher b'Torah u'v'Moshe avdo u'v'Yisrael amo u'v'nviei ha'emet v'tzedek. David, one sentence, one verse.
Yes.
Hiram is where.
Hiram also made the ladders, the scrapers, and the sprinkling bowls.
So Hiram finished all the work that he had been doing for King Solomon on the house of the Lord.
The 2 columns, 2 globes of the capitals upon the columns, and the 2 pieces of network to cover the 2 globes of the capitals upon the columns.
The 400 pomegranates for the 2 pieces of network, 2 rows of pomegranates for each network to cover the 2 gloves of the capitals upon the columns.
The 10 stands and the 10 ladders upon the stands.
The 1 tank with the 12 oxen underneath the tank.
The pails, the scrapers, and the sprinkling bowls, all those vessels in the house of the Lord that Hiram made for King Solomon were burnished bronze.
The king had them cast in earthen bowls, the flame over the door between the Sukkot and the,
Beautifully done.
Solomon left all vessels unweighed because of their great quantity. The weight of the bronze was not reckoned.
Steve, are you passing also? Reggie? Oh no. Reginald, pass. Troy?
The weight of the bronze was not reckoned. That was it.
I think you're on Ann Solomon.
48. Oh, 48. And Solomon made all the furnishings that were in the house of the Lord. The altar of gold. And the table for the bread of display of gold.
The lampstands, 5 on the right side and 5 on the left, in front of the shrine of solid gold, and the petals, lamps, and tongs of gold. The basins, snuffers, sprinkling bowls, ladles, and fire pans of solid gold, and the hinge sockets for the doors of the innermost part of the house of the Holy of Holies, and for the doors of the great hall of the house of gold. Sound familiar? All that gold, right? Right, so what's the reason this is the Haftarah for this week's Torah portion? One is building the Mishkan in the wilderness. One is building Solomon's temple. So they definitely have a connection. And the comments in the room of all that gold, I will maybe give you a hint, not next Shabbat, but the Shabbat after, to remember the Haftarah portion that we just read and try to point out maybe some of the gold that we are bringing into our new space, as Steve is laughing over there as well. Let us join together in our blessing after the Haftarah, which is found on page 372 in our prayer books, and I invite you to please join with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sor kol haolamim sadik b'kol hadorot ha'el haneman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdaber umkayem shekol derav emet v'tzedek al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha lechavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarchim otach yitbarashim b'fi kol chai tamid leolam va'ed baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Before we return our Torah to the Ark, let us offer prayers for our congregation, for our country, for Israel, and, who knows the and? Henry's allowed to answer. Yes, you do. He's allowed to answer. And Rosh Chodesh, announcing the new month as well. Although, what's the secret of this month that we're announcing?
The same month.
It's the same month, so we are exiting Adar 1 and we are entering Adar 2 because it is a leap year, and during Adar we are commanded to be happy, and we get 2 of them during a leap year. Let us first offer a prayer for our congregation, page 376. Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of Torah, devotion in prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha b'yirah na'avod. Let us continue near the bottom of the page in a prayer for our country, beginning with O Guardian. O Guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. On page 377, prayer for the state of Israel. Avinu Shabashamayim, Sor Yisrael v'goalo, Baruch et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Smichat Geulatenu, Hagen Alecha be'evrat chastecha, Ufros Alecha Sukat Shlomecha, Ushlach Orecha v'amitecha l'rashecha, Sarecha v'yoatzecha, V'taknen be'etza tova milfanecha, V'natata shalom ba'aretz, V'simchat olam liyoshvecha, V'nomar. Amen. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. In order to announce the new month, which will be Rosh Chodesh Adar 2, which happens on Sunday and Monday, we turn to page 379. I already addressed it since we don't have someone that typically lifts it, so. There were words in there. I hope you all trust me. Page 379. Together, our God and God of our ancestors, may the new month bring us goodness and blessing. May we have long life, peace, prosperity, a life exalted by love of Torah and reverence for the divine, a life in which the longings of our hearts are fulfilled for good. The new month of Adar 2 will begin on Sunday and Monday. Happy Rosh Chodesh Adar 2, which, different than Rosh Chodesh Adar 1, is the one where we do the celebrations of Adar. So Purim comes in Rosh Chodesh Adar 2, whenever there are 2 of them. Let us turn now back to page 374. As we return our Torah to the Ark, although you tried to make a run for it earlier, AJ, would you like to help again? Yeah, you can bring your book up if you want to. You absolutely can. Page 374, and as AJ makes his way up here to open the Ark, I'm going to invite everyone to please rise. Adam al eretz v'shamayim v'yarem keren le'ama light, delighting the mind. God's mitzvot are clear, giving light to the eyes. God's word is pure, enduring forever. God's judgments are true and altogether just. The Hebrew near the bottom of page 374. Eitz Chaim hi lama chazikim ba v'tomchecha meushar derachecha derechei noam v'kol netivotecha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem. We remain standing and turn to our concluding prayers. Words of Aleinu can be found on page 586. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, la'tekedu la'liotze reishit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzo, velo samanu kamishpachot adama, shelo samchokenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Turn the page. Shehu notei shamayim v'yosed haaretz u'moshech yikaro b'shamayim b'ma'al u'shkinatu zo v'gohei meronim hu Eloheinu ein od Emet Malkeinu Efesulato Kakatu V'Torato V'yadata hayom V'hashevota El Levavecha Ki Adonai Hu HaElohim B'shamayim b'ma'al Ve'al ha'aretz mitachat ein od. Page 591, we read together. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lamelech kol haaretz bayom hahu yehia Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Can you please close that side of the earth for us? Wait, hold it up here. So you can use your fingers to close it. Yeah, hold it up here. Perfect. We get this side too. Perfect. Thanks, back too. I'll give you some candy. You may be seated. Some candy. You also, not offer you. This morning, as our prayers draw to a close, we turn our thoughts to our loved ones who are no more. On this Shabbat, we remember two taken from us recently, Robert Hollyfield and Larry Zachem. And to their names, we add the names of those who passed away during the past year: Stephen Zuckerman, Erwin Shabe, Jeannie Samuels, Robert Berenson, Stacy Summer, Alvin Mykoff, John Carlson, Ruth Ann Miller, John Roheim, Barry Burton, Shirley Judge, Betty Simmons, Lee Kaplan, Joanne Bender, Leonard Knackman, Rowan Hausman, Maureen Corcoran, and Lucy Silva. We also think of those who died at this season in years past and whose family members are observing the Yortzeit anniversary of death on this Shabbat. Samuel Abramson, Deanne Beck, Faye Bader Bronswig, Maxine Casson, Tonette Darden, Bernard Finkelman, Maxine Finson, Harriet Block Heyman, Doris Mikolov Cantor, Tilly Lesser, Arthur Rosenthal, Leo Rotenberg, Minnie Bendersky-Sable, Rissy Sternberg, Flo Streifer, Ingermar Svensson, Julius Weil, and Anne Zachem. If there are others you are remembering this morning, if you'd like to share their names aloud, I invite you to do so.
Gary Black.
Anna Klein.
For those names said aloud, those whom we hold in our hearts and those who have lost their lives to war in Israel, we offer these prayers of Mourner's Kaddish, page 598, and I invite you to rise if you wish. Yitgadol v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirotev yamlich malchute, v'chayachon v'yomechon uv'chayei dekol beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'izman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, v'yitzadar v'yitzaleh v'yitzalal shmei dekudasha barichu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'akol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'akol Yisrael v'imru. May all their memories be for a blessing, as together we say. Amen. You may be seated. You want to offer announcements? There's a little bit.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us for services. Tonight there will be Havdalah service on Zoom hosted by the Saxey family at 5:30. Tomorrow join us at 7 p.m. for Israeli dancing. We have begun the process of moving to the Kleinert building. We will continue to celebrate Shabbat here next week, and our first Shabbat in our new home will be Friday, March 22nd. And everyone is invited to attend the dedication service on Friday night, March 22nd, and Saturday morning, March 23rd. Also join us for the Purim celebration on Saturday afternoon. That's on the 23rd, and event details of all of these events are present in the announcements that are sent out, and I think also you can get a link to the calendar on the website. The office will begin to operate out of the Kleinert building next week. For more details, again, refer to the website and the weekly announcements. Anything else? Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Let us conclude this morning on page 626 as together we sing Ein Keloheinu. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mi Eloheinu, Mi Chadonenu, Mi Kemalkeinu, Mi Kemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, no dele malkeinu, no dele Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Shabbat Shalom. Join us in the green room for Kiddush and Motzi, and have a wonderful Shabbat.
The prayer for the congregation and the country and all that.
I wasn't planning on it, but
What if I, before the announcements, did the prayer for the community?
yeah. Can I find a different one?
Sure,
So it's
sure,
not
sure.
that one?
Yeah.
A right one or something,
Yeah.
or something? Absolutely.
Okay. all right.
Yeah, I'll add it to the slide deck. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I like that idea. Like, maybe this one, maybe I'll find
Okay,
a different
okay.
one to make it a little more. Yeah, I am adding something before we hang the mezuzah, I'll tell you also. So, but it's not gonna be, it'll be. Yeah, and I think he's here. Barry said yes, so he's gonna sit on the bima. Yeah, I put some membership forms in the box outside Heather's, filled out membership forms on the backs, David's, on the box outside Heather's office. Yeah. He's the only one that's handed me anything. Yeah, and I don't know if they like filled it out online or anything. But yeah, and then I'm leaving. We're heading to the airport at 2 is the goal. But I am reachable. But don't also go to New York and like eat a lot of pizza and or whatever Italian food or whatever you do. Do you have dinner reservations?
We actually